Hi YouTube, thanks for watching out there. I'm Andy in Wales, UK, with my daily look at the main astrological movements that are ahead of us, the state of the heavens, if you will. The moon has been in Aquarius since 22:44 last night, UK time, and all my times are UK, that is GMT or UTC. I was getting used to the American ones, but they've just changed it, and I don't know where I am with that yet now, because they were 5 hours behind and now they're 4 hours behind. But we've got the moon in Aquarius, and I might actually find out, because that means there's an increased interest in knowledge. People are more interested in finding things out than actually sharing information. Finding like-minded people to communicate with is quite important to get the most out of it. But basically, it's a good time for I would say the higher chakras, taking things into your mind, reading, study, maybe even looking into science. People often think that astrology and anything to do with the spiritual realms is kind of very, very unscientific, but it really isn't. I'm sure that science and astrology are going to meet up one day, and all these other things as well, because they seem so real and so many people find them to be so real. Anyway, I'm off on one there. The moon is in Aquarius. Right now she is 16.8% full. Waning crescent on her way down. New moon comes in on the 17th of March, 4 days time at 13:11 UK time. So I guess that must be 9:11 Eastern. Oh dear, it's hopeless. It's really, I'm sorry, I'll have to do some studying about that. Right, moon in Aquarius, 16.8% full, and right this minute she is sextile Venus. So that's nice alignment. Time of good feelings, a time when people's intentions are generally good. People are looking to the better side of themselves, actually into the higher chakras again. It's twice today I've said it. A good time for people meeting, coming together, particularly where the feminine is involved. It says here particularly with females, but I see that completely different. I think that's the feminine, because everyone's got a bit of the masculine and a bit of the feminine in them. There's no question there. Now, Mercury is square Pluto, but Mercury is coming up to going retrograde. It's in the pre-shadow to going retrograde at the moment. So we may see challenging announcements. We may hear that big changes are on their way. That is actually going on in the news in many countries of the world at the moment. But the talks around things like that are likely to be a bit tense. We're actually possibly looking at transportation upsets and that kind of thing already, playing into communication. So generally speaking, the kind of meetings that are throwing up these agendas for change may not go terribly well. And I feel that what's going to happen is a few things are going to flop over the next few weeks, and the politicians are going to have to earn their money, which I don't think they ever do they? So they're going to have to earn their money and find some new solutions to things. Right, great. There's a bit of politics there. Wonderful stuff. Spaceweather.com. The solar wind speed this morning, 351.5 kilometers a second. 6.7 protons a cubic centimetre, the density. So the density's coming up, but the wind speed is going down. Well, there's not a lot coming off the face of the sun at the moment. The sun is completely blank of sunspots, but there is a gash in the sun's atmosphere, which is throwing out lots and lots of solar wind. We've had some experiences with it recently. It's quiet today, but tomorrow, March the 14th, there's a really strong possibility that we will actually be grazing that. It doesn't say what level kind of geomagnetic storm it's going to be. It might actually not be a storm, but certainly there's going to be geomagnetic activity. No two ways about that. It's something like 60,000 gigawatts of electrical power extra that comes into the atmosphere. This is why it plays into our electronics, and this actually is why it can play into our thought patterns a bit as well. There we go. Now, Jupiter is actually retrograde at the moment, just flagging that one up there, really. The ruling planet of Sagittarius. Issues to do with abundance, people's tolerance, social insight, that kind of thing. Just the general kind of feeling around people more than anything. And certainly any feelings to do with trying to make money or go forward in that sense are likely to be, feelings could be a bit odd, put it that way. It's a retrograde. It doesn't mean that opposites happen, but it means that things are just very different, basically. Venus and Mercury are both visible in the night sky at the moment as well. If you go outside outside tonight and you're in part of the world where you can see this, and I think many of us are actually, if you can then get a clear view of the horizon, you will actually see Venus and Mercury shining out through the sunset. It's not always possible. Mercury particularly is only visible about 50 days of the year. We can see Venus more like 200 days of the year, I believe. So it's a special time if you want to get out there and see Mercury. Okay, well that's just about it for today, folks. Thank you very much for looking in. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep it real, keep it out there. Like and subscribe. Go on, give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, then you won't miss anything. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a fantastic Tuesday, the 13th of March, my friends. Goodbye.